Let's talk about how we can have glowing going on in our projects, like you see with the little embers floating in the background, and with our selected text here. So with this, I went ahead, we got a clean project. I'm going to show you how to start your glowing, or how to get glowing functional, and then I'm going to show you how you can modify that with some code. All right, so just to go with this, let's do an interface. It doesn't really matter what you go with here, but I'll use a button just because that's what I was showing you before, and say this is my button. I'll make it flat so it just looks like text. And just for sakes of this, we'll make it size 22. Right. Center of the screen, there it is. All right, so we're gonna make this glow. And I'll show you as well. I'll just get a regular old sprite. I'll throw the Godot logo on it. All right, here we go. We can make that glow as well. So the first things that we're gonna need here, in order to see this, and sure, we'll just leave it there. We're gonna go up to project settings, and you'll probably have to turn advanced settings on, but if you go ahead and search HDR, you should see that under display and window. No, let's see, what's it under? Viewport, HDR 2D. You can turn that on. Personally, I don't like the way it makes the editor look, so I create a toggle myself. That way I can turn it on and off within the editor easily, and I enable it specifically when the game opens. But you can see, if you take a look at the editor, there is some minor changes going on there, and that's not too bad. What I don't like is the way it looks inside of scripts. But for now, just make sure you put HDR 2D on. We're going to come in and we're going to add a world environment. We're going to give that an environment inside of the inspector. And now, what we need to do is we need to come into background here, inside of environment. We need to go to mode. Instead of clear color, which it is by default, we need to come down to canvas. And then we need to come down to glow and turn that on. And that's it. You can come in, you can play with these sliders to get the desired effect and threshold as you want. Almost forgot. Blend mode. Set that to screen. But you can come in, you can play with those sliders to get the effects that you want. But you might look at this and you say it's not glowing or anything. Well, we're going to take a look at the sprite. We'll come down to its color. So it's going to be under visibility. And if we just grab the intensity slider here in the color and just turn that up, you'll see we'll start glowing and blooming out. Right? Cool. So if you wanted to, let's say, have that pulsating, let's go ahead and throw a script on there. Sprite 2D, sure. We're going to create two functions. Right. We're going to create a func glow up. And we can do a func glow down. And you might be able to start seeing the difference here. Why I don't like having HDR 2D on inside the editor, because I don't like it. Right. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to call glow up. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a tween. We're going to have a base color. We're going to have an end color. So var t tween equals create tween. We're going to have a base color. Of course, it's going to be a color, and we can just leave that as color.white because that's what it is by default here. Because we're just going to use the self-modulate for this specific instance. Right? And we need an ending color, so what we're going to end on. Because when you're tweened, you're going to start at one value and you're going to move it to the next. So we're going to say end color is a color, and the way you do this is you just take the base color and multiply that by an intensity of some sort. So for example, if I were to change this to 1.5 of an intensity, let's have you in there. There we go. All right. So now all we would have to do is just tween. So t dot tween property. The object that we want to tween is going to be ourself in this case. The value that we want is going to be self-modulate. Our ending value is our end color, and how long we want it to take. Let's say 1.5 seconds. So you know what, just to be different here, we'll say 2 seconds. So if we just run that, we'll see it start to glow over 2 seconds. Right. It's not too terrible, it's not too insane, but if you were to change this maybe to 2 for our intensity, right, you can see it starts becoming very, very strong in this. So if you wanted to just have this pulsating, all you would now have to do is do t dot finish. Sorry, we need to await t dot finish. So wait for that value to finish, and then we can call glow down. Right, and this is effectively going to be the just about the same inside of glow down. Right, so we're going to create our tween. We have our base color, we have our end color. Though for our end color, we can just multiply by 1, or we can remove the end color altogether and just put our target as the base color. Make sure at the end, after we finish on glow down, we glow back up. If we take a look, and now we have a sprite that's kind of pulsating with its glowing, right? So you could do something like this for maybe a candlelight if you just wanted that kind of effect, right? Because you come in, make this really small, right? Say 0.5 as an example. Take a look, and we got something that's more resembling to maybe something that you want to show the player, or if you want to go fast, you can get like a candlelight kind of thing going on if you don't want to have actual light in the scene, right? But you get the idea. Now for doing things like the button or your label settings or things like that, it's a little different, and I'll just go ahead and copy this, create a script for our button. Yeah, that's all fine and all. Extends button ready blow up. Okay. All right, so now that I fixed that, what do we got here? So the only difference that we would do here. All right, so I'm going to change this. So it's going to go with a. Let's go with a red for my color. Self is fine, but then we need to get to the, in my case, the font hover color for what you saw in the beginning. So instead of self-modulate, it's going to be theme override colors, font hover color. All right, that's how we're going to get all the way down to overrides, colors, and get to that hover color here, which is going to affect it. And I'll just tweak it there. for the property. And now anytime I put my mouse over it, oh, we can see we're not getting much of anything here. Why is that? Alright, I've gone ahead and I've just tweaked the color a little bit. So it's not a solid red, just so it looks a little nicer when it glows. And what we need to do next, we're going to connect the mouse entered signal so that it's only going to glow when we mouse over it. Right, we're going to connect it. Boom, I already have my function created, so it's going to do self.set and do the theme override colors, font hover color, and I'm just setting it back to the 0.875. Once we put our mouse over it and then we glow up to start our sequence. Now the issue is here is, well, let's just go ahead and take a look. So we can see we now pulsate when we have our mouse over it. But you can see we have quite a delay there. We put our mouse over it while it's already colored, so we can see it's like kind of pulsating and throbbing now, which is not what we want. So what you would want to do now is find out if your mouse is within that area. If your mouse is still over the button before you continue to glow. So for that, after we wait for finishing, we can go ahead and get the mouse position. So mouse position is get global mouse position. We can get the rect size of it. So we're going to get the rectangle. What that is this outline, this orange outline. That's the area that we're going to be getting. And that's just a rect2 of our global position and our size passed in. And then we can determine with a simple if statement. So we can say if the rectangle does not have the point, and that point being our mouse position, then we return an exit. So if our mouse is not currently hovering over the button, we're just going to stop glowing. All right, that way we can just start over. And that gets rid of our stutter mostly, unless you're like extremely weird and you start going like this. But I mean, no normal player would do that, right? And even then, that's temporary. That would just reset itself eventually anyway. But there you go. There's how you can do it for something like a button. And then for regular text like labels, same thing. Only instead of going to your theme override and your font hover color and that, they're going to go into, well, you could use the overrides, but you could also go into your label settings and change it in there. But that's it. That's how you get Glow to work. There's how you can use it and modify it in the inspector. Just change that intensity slider. And there's how you can do it in code. Right? So at the end of the day, it's just color times a number. This number is your intensity. There is no actual value that we can set. Alright, that's it. Take care. Have yourselves a good one. I'll see you guys next time.